Imagine discovering that some of the people sworn to stop gangs were accused of forming gangs of their own. For decades, Los Angeles County has been rocked by allegations of secret deputy groups accused of violence, intimidation, and corruption. Today we're counting down the five most notorious deputy gangs that allegedly operated inside the LA County Sheriff's Department. The Little Devils, also called the Little Red Devils, the Little Devils are widely considered to be the first known deputy gang within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, LASD. They allegedly emerged around 1970 to 1971 at the East Los Angeles Sheriff's Station, making them the earliest documented example of the deputy clique culture that later spread throughout the department. The Little Devils are believed to be the first deputy gang ever documented inside the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Formed around 1970 at the East Los Angeles Station, members allegedly identified themselves with a small red devil tattoo on their calf. According to internal records, at least 47 deputies were linked to the group. Investigators say the Little Devils helped create a culture of loyalty, secrecy, and aggressive policing that would influence future deputy gangs for decades. While some former deputies insisted the group was nothing more than a social club, critics argue it laid the foundation for one of the most controversial chapters in American law enforcement history. The Lynwood Vikings. The Lynwood Vikings are the most infamous alleged deputy gang in the history of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, LASD. They operated out of the now-closed Lynwood Sheriff's Station during the late 1980s and 1990s and became the focus of multiple lawsuits, federal court proceedings, and official investigations. Former deputies and court testimony alleged that deputies had to prove themselves through aggressive enforcement before being accepted. The Lynwood Vikings weren't just another deputy clique. They became the face of one of the biggest law enforcement scandals in Los Angeles history. Identified by Viking tattoos, members were accused of using excessive force, racially targeting Black and Latino residents, and protecting one another from accountability. In a landmark civil rights case, a federal judge described the Vikings as a neo-Nazi, white supremacist gang, though that preliminary ruling was later reversed on procedural grounds before the case ended in a settlement. Whether viewed as a social club or deputy gang, the Vikings left a legacy that continues to shape debates about policing and accountability in Los Angeles today. The Executioners. The Executioners are one of the most controversial alleged deputy gangs associated with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The group was alleged to have operated out of the Compton Sheriff's Station beginning around 2016 and became the focus of lawsuits, oversight investigations, and public hearings. Many of the allegations remain disputed by individual deputies, but multiple official investigations concluded that the group exhibited characteristics of a deputy gang. Former deputies testified that becoming an executioner wasn't automatic. According to lawsuits and sworn testimony, deputies had to prove themselves as aggressive street officers. Loyalty to the clique was expected. Members allegedly held influence over overtime, desirable assignments, and promotions. Deputies who refused to join or criticize the group claimed they faced retaliation or isolation. These allegations were made in civil litigation and oversight investigations. The Sheriff's Department has disputed or denied various specific claims. Unlike many deputy gangs rooted in the 1970s and 1980s, the Executioners were alleged to have emerged as recently as 2016 at the Compton Sheriff's Station. Members were said to identify themselves with skull tattoos featuring military imagery and were accused of rewarding aggressive policing while intimidating deputies who refused to join. Whistleblowers claimed the clique celebrated shootings and wielded influence inside the station. Although many allegations remain disputed, official investigations concluded that the Executioners reflected a broader pattern of deputy gang activity that has challenged the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for decades. The Banditos. The Banditos are one of the best documented alleged deputy gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The group has been associated with the East Los Angeles Sheriff's Station since roughly 2010 and became the subject of lawsuits, internal investigations, and reports by the Los Angeles County Inspector General and Civilian Oversight Commission. Multiple deputies who later filed lawsuits alleged that the Banditos functioned as an exclusive group that exercised influence within the station. According to those lawsuits, members allegedly controlled desirable patrol assignments, decided who received overtime opportunities, influenced promotions in specialized positions, targeted deputies who refused to join, created a culture of intimidation. The county has disputed aspects of these allegations, but they became central to several legal cases. The Banditos weren't just accused of wearing matching tattoos, they were alleged to control an entire sheriff's station through fear and intimidation. Based at the East Los Angeles station, members were accused of deciding who got promotions, overtime, and specialized assignments while punishing deputies who refused to fall in line. After a violent off-duty party in 2018 left several deputies injured, the Banditos became the focus of lawsuits, public hearings, and official investigations. County watchdogs concluded the clique had created a culture of favoritism, retaliation, and intimidation, making the Banditos one of the most thoroughly investigated deputy gangs in Los Angeles County history. The Regulators. The Regulators are among the lesser known but historically significant alleged deputy gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. According to multiple investigations, the group operated primarily out of the Century Sheriff's Station in the late 1960s and early 1970s, making them one of the earliest documented deputy cliques, alongside the Little Devils. Long before the Banditos, or the Executioners, made headlines, there were the Regulators. Allegedly operating out of the Century Sheriff's Station in the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Regulators are considered one of the earliest deputy cliques in Los Angeles County. While less is known about them than later groups, investigators believe they helped establish a culture of exclusive membership, aggressive policing, and loyalty that would influence future deputy gangs for decades. Their story serves as a reminder that the controversy surrounding deputy gangs didn't begin in the modern era, and may have started more than half a century ago. The idea that secret gangs could exist inside one of America's largest sheriff's departments sounds like something from a movie, but multiple official investigations say the problem was real and persisted for decades. Whether reforms have finally ended, this culture remains a subject of ongoing debate. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Hidden Truth Files for more stories they don't teach in school.